Join me as I dive deep into understanding God's limitless love for us, and I'll challenge myself to share 5 ways we can experience that love every day. God's limitless love transcends human understanding. It's an unconditional, unwavering, and unrelenting love that doesn't make sense to our finite minds. It's a love that changes lives, transforms hearts, and brings hope to lost people. But what does it mean to experience this kind of love? One of the biggest struggles we face in recognizing and accepting love is our past experiences. Maybe we've been hurt, rejected, or abandoned, so we've put up walls to protect ourselves from getting hurt again. We may struggle to trust others, including God, because we don't think we're worthy of love. Or we may have been taught that love is conditional and only given when we meet specific standards or achievements. But God's love shatters those lies and tells us that we are enough, just as we are. Doubt is another major obstacle that keeps us from experiencing God's love. We may wonder if God truly cares about us or is even real. We may question why bad things happen to good people, or God doesn't always intervene in our difficulties. These doubts can creep in and make us feel like we're not loved, seen, or heard. But what if I told you that God's love is not just a feeling, but a choice? What if I told you that God's love depends not on our emotions, but His character? We may also struggle to recognize love because we don't know what it looks like. We may think love is only expressed through grand gestures, romantic dates, or elaborate gifts. But love is more than that. Love is the little things, the everyday moments, the whispers in the dark. Love is the person who stays up late to listen to us, shows up at our doorstep with a warm meal, or sits with us in silence. God's word is full of examples that illustrate His love. Take the parable of the prodigal son, for instance. The father's love for his son is not based on the son's behavior, but on the father's character. The father runs to his son, embracing and welcoming him home despite his flaws and mistakes. This is a picture of God's love for us. A love that pursues us, forgives us, and welcomes us home no matter what. Another example is the story of the woman caught in adultery. Jesus meets her in her shame and darkest moment, and He doesn't condemn her. Instead, He shows her compassion, mercy, and love. He tells her to go and sin no more, but He doesn't leave her there. He stays with her, He sees her, and He loves her. This is the kind of love God has for us. A love that sees, knows, and loves us, not in spite of our flaws, but because of them. The psalmist writes, "For great is your love, reaching to the heavens. Your faithfulness reaches the skies." This love is higher than the highest heights, more profound than the deepest depths, and broader than the widest widths. This is a love that knows no bounds, no limits, and no conditions. This is a love that is simply because. I remember a moment when I felt God's love in a way I never had before. I was going through a tough time, feeling lost and alone, and I cried out to God in desperation. And in that moment, I felt His presence, peace, and love. It was like a warm blanket wrapped around my heart, telling me everything would be okay. It was a feeling that I've never forgotten, a feeling that reminds me of God's love every single day. How about you? Have you ever experienced God's love in a way that changed your life? Maybe it was a moment of forgiveness, healing, or restoration. Maybe it was a whisper in the dark, a reassuring touch, or an unexpected blessing. Whatever it was, I want to challenge you to hold on to that moment, to let it shape your identity, and to remind you of God's limitless love for you. In conclusion, God's limitless love is not just a concept, but a reality that can change our lives. It's a love that forgives, heals, and restores. It's a love that sees us, knows us, and loves us, not in spite of our flaws, but because of them. So let's choose to embrace this love, accept it, and experience it every day. Take a moment to reflect on your own experiences with love. Have you ever felt unseen, unheard, or unloved? How has God's love impacted your life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you're interested in exploring more of God's love, be sure to check out our next video where we'll dive deeper into His character.